Now, part two. Now, more people will give you reasons why this is Israel's fault because of the fact that they were the ones initially that formed the Hamas group. In the 1960s, 70s, there was the Palestinian Liberation Organization, the PLO, and they had a lot of power. I think groups like the Fatah and different groups, but Israel thought, let's help this other group that was part of the Muslim Brotherhood, and if we can help them, then they will resist the support that PLO is getting against Israel. So they helped them then, but now what Hamas became decades and decades later, are you going to blame Israel for their views now, compared to just because they were helping them there to help to sustain Israel against its threats? And biblically, Israel has always been forming allies with people they shouldn't form allies. When God told them to destroy certain people, they still were forming allies with people that God said to destroy and not have nothing to do with them. So this is what Israel's been doing anyway. So if you want to blame Israel, you can blame Israel from biblical days if that's the case. But other things people will be saying as well is mixing up the fact of Judaism and the politics of Israel. So don't forget, the politics of Israel, you've got the left, you've got the right, you've got the center. And the right, they believe in that the fact of the land is theirs and other things. But and the next problem with this is this current government, what's his name? I think I got his name somewhere. He currently has teamed up with people that are extreme far right, and they came out of their statement, whereas the left has been like they don't mind sharing, coexisting and stuff. But even this president, all throughout, he's the longest serving president. He don't mind coexisting, but the problem now is he's teamed up with people that are extremely far right. And he said the Jewish people have an exclusive and inalienable right to all parts of the land of Israel. Before, that statement wasn't made and things like that. So now he's making a statement like that, and he's teamed up with people that are far right, that are one anti-Arabs, some are anti-LGBT and things like that. So if you're in Palestine, you might think, oh, some arguments will be he's teamed up with them from, I don't know, January 2023, whenever that party was put together. Now, you might be thinking, oh, now we're in danger. He's teamed up with the most extreme far-right people ever. So is this a reason to attack? Because bear in mind, they haven't attacked. And even before this, he has still been president, and he's been saying he's ready to coexist, and the Arab nations have never wanted to coexist. The other part that people forget, even with the Zionist parties and things like that, is because they're Zionists doesn't mean they're not Jewish. Like, that doesn't mean they're not Jewish and following what Jewish customs are. Because you still got, within the Jewish custom system, you've got three types of people. You've got the ones that are ascended from Aaron, that they call here the Kohanites, or we call them the Kohanim. Then you got the ones that ascended from Levi, because remember, the priesthood is from the Levites, and some were to do musicians and stuff, and some were to preach and stuff, and then some were to be the high priest. So you've got the ones that are from the Levites, the ones from directly from the father of Aaron, and those are the Kohanim. And still people following that structure in their synagogues and stuff, whether they're Zionists, whether the Reformed don't follow these three-part system, because the ones that are not from those two tribes, they're known as isreal, and they could be from any tribes or converts. But Orthodox and most people follow this system, and they still are following. So to say that, oh, these people don't follow the Torah, they don't claim to be God's chosen, they're following this order. There's certain things that are necessary for you to know you're from those tribes, and therefore you get certain responsibilities. The other difference is understanding the difference between the rabbis and the Levites, because at one time, say there's three generations of Judaism. The beginning, where the Levites were chosen for God to do a certain purpose, and then they were the ones doing all the things that to do with worship and teaching of the gospel, or teaching of the Torah and the ways of the Torah, the law and all that. Then after exile, you had the Levites again, was the ones that was looking after the people and keeping them away. But then later on, the rabbis, after another exile, were the ones that was now keeping people together. The rabbis actually were the ones that were, after exile, the rabbis were the ones teaching people back, but they couldn't bring people back. They couldn't bring people back to their land. Whereas the Levites before, after exile, they brought people back to the land and they were able to hold people. But after the second exile, the Levites No, the rabbis were in charge. They were the biggest elite now of the Jews. So now the difference is with the two parties. Zionists believe the Levites are not in charge. The Levites are there to serve the people, whereas some will see the Levites are the ones that are meant to be in charge, running the people and stuff like that. So it depends how you interpret the scriptures at the end of the day. So